Now, as you may know from the content of the channel, I have a couple different hobbies. Obviously, my main hobby and profession is magic tricks online. However, my second hobby is to peruse magic groups on Facebook looking for drama. And oh boy, it doesn't take a lot to find any drama. Today, we're going to be taking a look at a post by Mark Mauricio that sparked a debate on privilege. Now, I'm sure you're sitting there wondering, how is it that magic could lead into a discussion on privilege? Well, here it is, my friends. Now, the post was in regards to the performance of a trick called exact change. This is a wonderful trick by Gregory Wilson that allows a participant to name any number they want, and you take out the exact change in your pocket representing that number. So imagine somebody names 81 and you reach out to your pocket's empty apart from having 81 cents in change. Astounding, easy to understand, and great effect. Now the post reads, I was performing Greg Wilson's exact change for some teens when I asked them to add up the coins that I took out of my pocket. They looked so confused. They couldn't. First script handwriting, then time on an analog watch, now change. It's a sad, sad world. What's your experience? Now, it goes without saying, I've mentioned it many times before, that I used to be a teacher for both middle school and high school. So I had a good take as to what the common child was getting into in terms of education. Now, my time was slightly before vape pens and TikTok got popular, but I felt those percolations, and the administration had this belief that every student can be taught, which is retarded. That's not realistic. Some adults can't be taught. So what makes you think that these rambunctious youth full of hormones are going to be able to sit down in a place where they're hungry and now they have to listen to me talk about stupid things that they don't care about? Yes, you try your best to make it engaging and relatable to them, but there's going to be a good percentage of those kids that are just going to be bad people. They're just not going to learn, regardless of anything. And of course, that's opposite to the post that we're going to talk about here, because it seems like people don't understand that. I'm sure everybody's had it where they've worked in an office or with coworkers where you wonder, how is it that this person drove to work? How is it that this person even has a license? How do they go about their normal day? They can't even function as a regular adult. However, from the responses on this particular post, it seems that people live in a fantasy land. Now, counting change isn't a point of privilege. It's a very basic skill to have. I understand that we're going to a cashless society and things are becoming more digital, but it's still a very crucial bit of information to have. Baron A. Stringfellow mentions here that we come from a place of privilege if we make such presumptions. Mark, of course, punches in, mentioning, I didn't realize that asking an American teenager if they knew the value of an American quarter was asking from a place of privilege. How rude of me to think that a high school student would know such elementary information. I'm with you, Mark, but this is still not the worst post, I think, in this comment thread. Joshua Moreland chimes in with a post reading as follows. It's a sad world. Really? Hey, OP, are you sure you aren't the one that can't handle the change? Every generation, including your own, is full of a plethora of people who may not be able to read, write, or count as well as you, and that's okay. Perhaps being grateful that you have the privilege to carry coins in your hand to do a trick with, instead of showing you are out of touch by being somewhat superior with your counting abilities. Your post hardly relates to magic, and it seems an attempt to dig at young people or volunteer your age/capacities more than anything. Every generation has illiterate people, so stop thinking yours is superior or that the world is coming to some form of insanity compared to back in my day. Now, of course, there's some highfalutin back and forth on this particular post. We have Joshua coming in, we have Mark coming in, we have some other people, but the point here is that the man was trying to perform what is a very simple trick to understand. Here's the change in my pocket, can you please count it out? So it is a relevant point to try to make when you have a group of individuals that are teenagers, that are in high school, that are incapable of doing such a simple action. To come in with privilege, you can make the argument about that for anything. You're building this strong man in order to say, hey, look, some people don't understand red sponge balls or the value of playing cards. Yes, that might be the case, but that's not who he's performing for. He's performing for a group of competent American teenagers that can't count change. So miss me with all your privilege, because that should be a simple concept that we all should be able to comprehend. And Joshua comes in again, building another straw man, saying that it's Mark's inability to connect with an audience. So it goes from a conversation of privilege to a conversation where Mark is now incapable of connecting with his audience because he's not able to get them to be able to count the change that he took out of his pocket, which is a ridiculous notion. But alas, such is the nature of arguing on Facebook. I think my point here is very clear in that some people can't be helped. You could try your best to help them along. You could try to reach to them with ways that they're familiar with, but they're just incapable of being helped. And Mark was just trying to make a point here saying that this is a very simple trick to understand, and he's surprised at the state of the education of these particular youths because they're incapable of counting change. I personally know some people that can't read an analog watch, and it's embarrassing. Now, Mark mentions that it is a sad, sad world. He is speaking anecdotally because of the situation that he just so happens to have encountered. I would be in the same situation as Mark if I was performing exact change and they couldn't count the change themselves. Or if somebody picked a playing card and they didn't know how to decipher this weird writing on the card. What's this thing? Oh, the number? If you are someone that could read and write, I suggest picking up my brand new book, The View from Down Here. The link is in the description section below. You have some great takes on Out of This World, you have some mentalism, you have some card stuff. And of course, if you don't want to buy a book, I understand. Just join the PigCake Magic Academy. It's practically the same link. You could click it, you could check it out, see if it's for you. There's over 1,400 videos going over card stuff, coin stuff. And the link obviously is also going to be in the description section below. I'm assuming that you're a competent person because you're watching this video. So for sure, you're cut above everyone else. But I think this goes on to prove that much like those teenagers that couldn't count change, the magicians that tend to post on the Magicians Only group on Facebook tend to be... I'm assuming you have context clues enough to fill in the blank yourself. But the word rhymes with mitarded. What is your opinion, my friends? Leave your take in the comment section below. Some advice at the end of the video. I've been rinsing my mouth with hydrogen peroxide in the hopes of making my teeth a little bit whiter. You're supposed to mix it with water and then switch it around, spit it, and then rinse your mouth again with water and then spit it. I just take it straight. Put it in my mouth, wash it off, and then drink some water, and then rinse off the remaining bit of it. And it works well. It works well. Unfortunately, I like to drink coffee, and I like to drink diet caffeine-free Coke. So that tends to have an effect on your teeth. But I've noticed a significant change after rinsing with hydrogen peroxide. You just can't swallow it. Make sure you don't swallow it. That wouldn't be good. But I've done it, and I'm not dead yet. So.
I see you again. When 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 I see you again.